So this question is from Patreon supporter Gradius. What gameplay mechanic or specific implementation of a gameplay mechanic are you particularly inspired by? Wow, inspiration. Well, growing up in the 80s and 90s, I was brought up in what many would refer to as the golden era of gaming. And though those games pale in comparison to the things we see today done in games, those old games had a strong core foundation based around gameplay and fun. Where today a lot of the games will spend a lot of their financial resources on graphic fidelity and making things look good, cutscenes and things like that. So my inspirations are definitely grounded in that retro era. And if any of you ever get a chance to play my game Blood and Mead that I'm currently working on, you'll find littered throughout that game plenty of retro mechanics that I was inspired by that nod to particular games like Super Mario World, Quackshot on the Sega Mega Drive, the Wonder Boy series. And there is one notable mechanic that, as an 8-year-old, had a huge impression on me. And that is the left-centric level design. That is to say, a level within a platformer context, which instead of facing right, faces left. Now this mechanic may sound ordinary, however this was at a time when almost every platformer was right-facing. Mario, Wonder Boy, all these ones. And they still are for that matter. If you play any platformer, typically they start you on the left and go to the right. So having games and experiences which countered that logic would always catch my attention and imagination in a very different way. This mechanic had such a profound impact on me as a child that I still remember exactly where I was and what I was doing when this mechanic dawned on me. In fact, I was at a shopping centre when I was 8 years old approximately, and that shopping centre is now gone. That's how long ago it was. But they had these kiosks set up where you could play retro consoles, much like you have now in various kind of electronic shops. And they had a Japanese game called Euphoria. So I played this game, and the first level was, as I expected, right-facing and all that. But then when level 2 came, they switched it up and they opened up the opposite direction. Now this really blew my mind because I was like, whoa, and it immediately stirred up these feelings of adventure and intrigue in my young, impressionable mind. So of course I went left and I found a cave and all these things, which also added to this mystery. So it felt like I was doing something a bit cheeky, like as if I was breaking a convention or going somewhere where the developers didn't want me to go or something like that. I think that's the kind of psychology behind it. So I really love this mechanic, and this mechanic is still very widespread and used effectively today in modern games, and you see it all the time. And you can read about it in almost any good game design book where they talk about a lot of the psychology behind it. And it's interesting what's behind that. And from what I understand, it stems from our literary custom in the West of reading from left to right. And we're so used to reading books from left to right and words on a page from left to right and words themselves from left to right, and that's had an influence on the way we design our games. So when we see the counter to that, it kind of trips us up a little bit, it jars us. And interestingly enough, in Japan, they read from right to left. A lot of those like manga comics and books, they always are, you read it from the last page forward. So often their design traditions encourage them to make games from right to left. So it's very, very fascinating how all this came together. And quite often, perhaps those design choices were unintentional, but just based on this kind of literary customs. So anyway, it's a very interesting topic, and I would love to get into that in more detail because I think there's a lot behind that I'd like to make a follow-up video, I think, to delve into that in more detail.